In Formula One, there are excellent teams that seem to have found the sweet spot, good drivers and impeccable cars.
Formula One in 2021, it comes down to this, and at this moment, it looks like it's going to go the way of Max Verstappen.
Also, there are those that have had their fair share of glory.
It's 7 consecutive Constructors' Championships for Mercedes. They win here in Imola.
And then there are those that have yet to taste what winning feels like. However, one thing is common among all these teams. They all have a significant weakness that they can't seem to shake off, no matter how much they try. In today's video, I'll take you through the biggest weakness of every F1 team, from failing to move on from past dominance to the inability to just get it right with the car. I have it all for you. 1. Aston Martin. Aston Martin have been consistent throughout the years they've competed in Formula One. The team's also emerged among the best in the sport. Case in point, the 2021 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, when Sebastian Vettel earned the team its first podium when he finished second.
Sebastian Vettel moved teams. He picks up his first podium for Aston Martin and their first podium in Formula One.
However, consistency doesn't cut it in this sport. Winning does, and perhaps Aston Martin has not been so lucky due to one major weakness: the car. For example, in 2024, Lance Stroll pointed specifically at the car's mid-corner understeer trait. The team's performance director Tom McCulloch has also admitted that the car has some serious balance issues. During an interview, he said, "A short corner is easier to set a car up for, a longer corner is harder. So if Aston Martin can manage to sort that weakness out, we might see more of them on the podium." 2. Alpine. Throughout its lifetime in Formula One, Alpine has managed only 1 race victory and 6 podiums with no pole position. So what's the team's biggest weakness? Well, many have argued that the frequent management change could have contributed to the less than impressive performance by them. However, the team's biggest weakness might actually be traced back to the car. To understand this, we need to go back to the start of 2024 season in Bahrain, when the team's drivers Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly locked out the final row of the grid. Speaking about the disappointing finish, the team's principal Bruno Famin said that the car proved to be difficult to handle during slow corners. Sometimes the upgrades to the car have not worked quite as expected too. This weakness has been so frustrating that Renault, the team's engine developer, has announced that it will be ending its engine program after the conclusion of the 2025 championship. 3. Haas. Since its debut in 2016, Haas's best performance has been a 4th place at the 2018 Austrian Grand Prix. However, it would be impossible to pinpoint a specific weakness that has hampered the team from basking in glory, so I'll just point out one of the main weaknesses: the tyres. Many have argued that the team's tyre management strategy is wanting, as the car seems to perform so well during the initial stages of races. However, as the race progresses, tyre wear results in the team moving backwards.
At the beginning of every stint it was very competitive, but our tyres just fell off so quickly, and we had to do a 3-stop, which wasn't optimum.
In what might be more bad news for Haas fans, the team principal Ayo Komatsu has revealed that the team could be yet to fully understand the tyre issue. This means we could be set to see more disappointing results by Haas. 4. Williams. Someone said that if Formula One races were in straight lines, then Williams would be the team to beat. However, there's plenty of corners, and that spoils the party for Williams a bit. And it becomes worse. The team's yet to find a way to get the car to the most optimal weight, with reports indicating that it might be as much as 15 kilograms overweight. This is costly for Williams, as during the early stages of the season, it cost up to 4.5 tenths of a second per lap, which in Formula One terms is an eternity. The problem's even amplified for Williams during races in high downforce circuits like Barcelona. Knowing the importance of weight in Formula One, it's beyond surprising that they've struggled to bring their car's weight down to optimal levels. 5. Kick Sauber. With Kick Sauber, there is also a myriad of weaknesses, but we've chosen to focus on the pit stop issues. Their pit stop stats in 2024 are notably slower compared to other teams. The team spent a total of 265 seconds in the pits so far, which is a staggering 273% more time than Red Bull, who've only logged 71 seconds. To put that in perspective, the second slowest team, Haas, is 90% behind Red Bull at 135 seconds, which is still much better than Sauber's time. What's even more surprising is that Sauber's 2024 total pit time already surpassed Ferrari's and Aston Martin's entire 2023 season totals of 210 and 264 seconds respectively. And although Sauber was also the slowest in the pits last year, they're only 97% behind Ferrari in total pit time. This season, the challenges have continued to mar the team's progress and could soon become the biggest hindrance. 6. RB. Now, although RB has been around for quite some time, it's yet to make a name for itself, maybe because of being under the shadow of its sibling racing team, Red Bull Racing. However, on closer analysis, there's also a rather concerning weakness. As much as it might seem minor, it's clear that RB's failed to create its own identity. First, the team has undergone quite the process of rebranding. Originally competing as Minardi from 1985 to 2005, the team was acquired by Red Bull and rebranded as Toro Rosso in 2006. Since then, it's been rebranded to AlphaTauri and later to Visa Cash App RB F1 team. Surprisingly, the last rebranding attempt did not sit well with many people, as they argued that the team lacked identity and felt like a marketing tactic for sponsor visibility. And once again, the rebranding process saw the team adopt its simple RB identity. Well, now it's a wait-and-see game as to whether we'll have another rebranding soon. 7. Ferrari. Just like everyone else, the Maranello-based outfit has also experienced its fair share of weaknesses. A major weakness that everyone talks about is bad race strategies. In fact, someone once said that the team's strategies are so bad, it's almost like they don't want their drivers to win, and there's plenty of incidents that back that statement up. First up, at the 2022 Monaco Grand Prix, the team's poor pit strategy cost Charles Leclerc a likely win. In a wet-dry race, Ferrari called Leclerc for intermediates, then quickly changed to slicks, causing delays and allowing Sergio Perez to undercut him. Leclerc finished 4th due to these missteps on a hard-to-overtake circuit. In the same season at the Hungarian Grand Prix, the team's choice to switch Charles Leclerc to hard tyres while he was leading proved disastrous. The new tyres lacked grip in the cooler conditions, allowing Max Verstappen to pass him and secure the victory. These strategies have cost Ferrari on more than a few occasions, and sadly they don't seem to learn from them. 8. McLaren. Here's a fun fact: McLaren's biggest weakness is not getting caught pants down spying on Ferrari. Instead, the team has struggled with fluctuating performance over recent years. To understand this, let's go back to the 2023 season during the early stages when the team struggled with a car that lacked competitiveness, finishing near the back in multiple races like Bahrain and Miami. Although McLaren seemed to have a turning point mid-season, especially during the Austrian and British Grand Prix, the weakness was once again in full display in the late stages of the season. One of the best scenarios is the Las Vegas Grand Prix, where both drivers were eliminated in the first qualifying period. Although McLaren seems to have addressed this issue this year, it's cropped up in some instances, proving that a lot still needs to be done. 9. Mercedes. Despite winning 8 Constructors' Championships and boasting a whopping 128 race victories, Mercedes also has a weakness that it can't seem to brush off, and that is car performance. You see, in the last few years, the team's grappled with correlation problems between their wind tunnel data and real-world performance on the track. This issue has led to inconsistent results, as simulations often mispredict how the car will handle in various conditions, especially under warmer temperatures. This was evident in the 2024 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, where the team expected strong results based on simulator tests, but in reality, the car was outpaced in high-speed sectors. And that's not all. In 2022, the team's car struggled with a phenomenon known as porpoising, which is a form of high-speed bouncing. Despite attempts to address the issue, the car could not perform as expected, clearly exposing the team's biggest weakness. 10. Red Bull Racing. For the last few years, Red Bull Racing have been synonymous with winning, courtesy of Max Verstappen's spectacular run. However, as much as this might seem like a good thing, it's actually the genesis of the team's biggest weakness. The thing is, Red Bull Racing has struggled to find the best match for Verstappen since Daniel Ricciardo's departure in 2018. Although they promoted Pierre Gasly and then Alex Albon, both struggled to match Verstappen's pace, which led to inconsistent results and eventual demotions. For instance, Verstappen lapped Gasly in Austria 2019, while he also outpaced Albon in most races of the 2020 season. Red Bull then saw it fit to bring in Sergio Perez in 2021, and unfortunately, this has also failed to work, as Perez has also found it challenging to maintain pace with the Dutchman. It seems that even the best in the game can also find it rough at times. Subscribe for more, and let us know of any other weaknesses you know about in these teams.